Stanford University has put out a list that they refer to as the Elimination of Harmful Language Initiative. In other words, it is a lengthy list of words that you should not use because they are offensive in multiple ways. Now, the list is insane. In fact, the word I just used, insane, is included in the list. In fact, a lot of words that you use on a daily basis is included in the list. You should ignore this list, you should dispense of this list, and the individuals who have compiled this list need to step outside of the faculty lounge and take a good hard look at the real world around them. Now, what do I mean? I'm gonna give you some examples. There are many, okay? I'm not even gonna get to all the insane examples here, but I'll get to the ones that stood out to me most. Now, they break the categories down by different categories, right? So there's the ableist category, which we're about to dive into. So, the word addicted, unacceptable. You should use hooked or, get a load of this, devoted instead.
It's a lot of
you guys
dudes are devoted to fentanyl. What? That's not the meaning.
I didn't leave the left left me. Like, no, but this is, I don't know what this is. If this is what the left is.
It isn't what the left is.
No, like this is not helpful in any way, okay? Addicted is not an offensive word, okay? This is what they argue. It trivializes the experiences of people who deal with substance abuse issues. I don't think it does. I think it just describes what they're experiencing with their addiction.
Yeah, look.
Addiction and addicted, these are words that have meanings. You don't get to, I don't know, rewrite what they mean or apply connotations that no one else is applying except for whoever is involved in this effort.
Yeah, so I once had a lunch basically with a bunch of folks who are in these kind of circles, and this is about 5 or 7 years ago, but they were shocked and outraged by me. They thought I was too right-wing in that I didn't agree with this, a lot of this crap, right? And so people, and the reason I tell you that is because people live in their bubbles, and in their bubble, this makes sense. Now look, there's some words as you're gonna see here that actually are bad, and you can create a list of those actual words, and I'm gonna tell you some of those in a second. By the way, later, I'll get into trouble for actually saying those words.
I know.
That's a whole nother part of it.
No, because like this is how they feel powerful. This is how they feel like they're making an impact on society, but they don't realize the impact they're making is actually an incredibly negative one, okay? It's not a positive impact, okay? And they're obsessed with rhetoric, obsessed. And that's the thing that stands out to me about this the most. Remember, we're talking about Stanford, which is located in which state, Cenk?
California.
Okay, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. California, they're very concerned about individuals experiencing disabilities, okay? Very concerned, except they're not. They're worried about words, they're not worried at all about actions that negatively impact people experiencing disabilities, and I'll get to that point and prove that point in just a moment. But let me give you some other examples. They think it's unacceptable to use the phrase blind review or blind study. They suggest you should use anonymous review or masked study, because it unintentionally perpetuates that disability is somehow abnormal or negative. Does it though? Does it?
No, it doesn't.
What? Okay, let me give you more. Don't refer to someone using a wheelchair as someone who is confined to a wheelchair. You should instead use person who uses a wheelchair. Why? Using person-first language helps to not define people by just one of their characteristics. Also, users of wheelchairs often find them to be an essential tool for their freedom instead of thinking of them as a prison. But like, do you guys get the criticism that I'm providing here, right? Like, they are interpreting the use of certain words, like they're applying connotations to these words that like they are applying, like no one else is applying. No one else, like look, it's just like the whole Latinx thing, okay? I don't wanna hear from a group of white faculty members from an Ivy League school about how we should use Latinx, because Latinx is, non-gendered language. I want to hear from the Latino community, which by the way, we have through multiple polls, and they don't want us changing their freaking language. How about that?
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you examples of words that actually are problematic. In fact, I'll start with one in a second, but I'm gonna read it through a bunch because they're amazing. So they say committed suicide is out. So, okay, what are we supposed to say? Died by suicide. Guys, what difference does it make? Who are we kidding? I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? You think it helps the feelings of the person who committed suicide? I'm sorry, died by suicide? Okay, now one of the words that's next to it is cripple. Hey, you know what? That makes sense, don't use cripple. That's weirdly pejorative, we get it, right? I
think everyone understands that it's pejorative. You get what I'm saying?
I do, but some are not necessarily the case. I'll get to that in a second, that it's not as clear, right? But so if you wanna have a word of like uncool words, like, hey, try not to use those. Those are kind of douchey, okay? By the way, that's probably a banned word. Okay.
Everything is though. Right? No, but like my biggest problem with this is, why do they get to decide what is and is not acceptable? Why do they get to decide what is and is not offensive? Who are these people, number one, okay? Number two, I'm just sick of the obsession with words and language policing and basically any type of action being rhetorical as opposed to, based in the real world, right? So it would require them to get out of the faculty lounge, right? Because again, Stanford is in the state of California. California has the largest homeless population in the country. And you know what actually hurts disabled people? Individuals who need to use a wheelchair. The fact that there's no accessibility for them to get around in places that have massive homeless encampments, blocking walkways, blocking sidewalks. I'll give you an example. This is a recent picture in Los Angeles, one of the encampments. Okay, so if you're in a wheelchair, what do? And guess what? The idea of moving people or clearing the walkway is considered incredibly cruel and unacceptable. You can't do it. Okay, fine. So instead of giving you the ability to get around in your wheelchair in California, we're gonna go ahead and language police on your behalf. Okay, great.
I'm sure that's gonna make you feel a lot better that you can't get around. All right, so other words that are banned. Walk-in, hey, we're gonna have walk-in office hours. No. Because some people can't walk in. Guys, we know that. Come on, you're being ridiculous.
No, look, but do you guys understand when the right wing claims that there's censorship from the left, this is the kind of stuff they're referring to. Now look, they overplay it and they claim that the left wing is far more censorious than the right wing is. The right wing has its own flavor of censorship, and we have experienced that under the leadership of Elon Musk on Twitter. But when you are more obsessed with policing the words that people use, the normal, regular rhetoric that people engage in, and that is what your obsession is, as opposed to actually fighting to improve the lives of the individuals that you're allegedly doing this on behalf of, you lose the argument. You just do.
Yeah.
And you're also incredibly annoying, and you just come off as someone who's obsessed with scolding others for using perfectly fine words, in my opinion.
So, and by the way, that you're going to guarantee losses in elections. Absolutely guarantee, because no one agrees with you. And then all the issues that you claim to care about are gonna get killed. Totally. You're never gonna pass any bills, you're never gonna help anyone, because you're obsessed with dumbass policing of language.
No,
but I promise you guys that there were some words where I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. So now when we get into like describing people based on gender roles, etc. So and I'm gonna say these words.
Don't say because it. Don't even bother. You know what's gonna happen.
No, I'm gonna because guys, I'm not gonna agree to have an idiotic conversation where the words sound very similar and some of them are not cool and some of them are cool, but I can't tell you which ones are which, right? So when it comes to transgender people, so I think by now everybody knows out. You can't say that, right? But a lot of people don't know it, right? So okay, you want to put that on a list? Oh, okay, oh man, people used to say that all the time back in the day, but that's definitely uncool now, right? She-mails out. Did everybody know that? I think everybody knew that, but I'm not positive everybody knew that. You make a list of that, well, maybe that's slightly helpful. They say transgendered is wrong. Well, I don't want to offend people. If it's transgender instead of transgendered, okay, great, I'm happy to know that. But at the same time, if somebody says transgendered and then you criticize them or you say that they're being like discriminatory,
yeah.
Then no, I'm sorry, but you're detail oriented, or whatever other word you're using for crazy. Okay, no, somebody's not trying to be offensive when they say transgendered. Okay, now but the capper, the word she, no, you can't say it.
No, it's.
How do we communicate?
No, there's more. There's more. It's endless. You should say the person's name or they.
But it's not a they.
But like, what about the she's out there who want to be referred to as she's? How about that?
Why are you taking away their rights to be referred in a way that they want?
It's super frustrating. Okay, let's get off the gender stuff for a second, because then there's the category of culturally appropriative. Okay, fascinating. The first word in that list is brave. Brave.
So we can't say brave anymore.
And by the way, they don't even give you a substitute, right? They say none, do not use.
Look, I'm gonna be fair to them.
No, don't be. They're not fair to us or to anyone else. Why be fair to them? They think every word we use is like intentionally evil and discriminatory. No, why? Why would we be fair to them? They cause mayhem with their nonsense.
No, I'm just being fair to the news that we're doing here. I'm hoping that what they mean is you can't refer to Native Americans as braves, right? Okay, that's a little more justifiable. But if they're saying you're just not allowed to use the word brave, we're back to, for crazy, they say that what you should use instead is surprising. Well, if we couldn't use brave, that would be surprising.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I didn't think about it in that context. So if it's used in the context of referring to someone who's Native American, okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
But I do want to give you a few more examples. So on the warpath, they don't like. You should use mad or on the offensive instead.
Or use a language that's not at all offensive and what I want to say instead of what you want to say. And so I'm on the warpath against your dumbass list. And no, Native Americans are not the only people that go on warpaths. I go on warpaths. I'm not a Native American. My people back in the day went on a lot of warpaths. Okay, so and by the way, apparently Philippines is out, but I didn't notice that Turkey's out. Why isn't Turkey out?
Philippines is out?
Yeah, you have to say Philippine Islands or something else like that. Guys, what are you doing?
You can't say balls.
By the way, you can't say guys.
No, I can't. I'm part of the resistance. I'm gonna say guys. I say guys all the time. Everyone knows I'm not literally referring to individuals with penises, okay, who identify as men.
Unless apparently you have some sort of mental issues and you're part of the faculty at Stanford.
That's offensive, Cenk. Balls to the wall, that's also offensive.
Well, that's offensive for different reasons.
You should say accelerate efforts instead.
Because that sounds really like what you want. If you're giving a speech to rile people, we gotta accelerate efforts. Get out of here, man. That's not how real people talk.
Don't say ballsy, you should say bold or risk taker instead. Because ballsy, it attributes personality traits to anatomy.
Yeah. And why are the male testicles positive? But the female, guys, we know, okay? Like there's extreme examples of that, but this ain't it.
But my favorite one, Cenk, and I wish I was on camera when I made this prediction, because I know I've said it to you multiple times. Karen is on the list, okay? And instead of using the word Karen, they argue you should say demanding or entitled, and they're specific, white woman.
That makes it worse, not better.
How about we not make generalizations about any group of people, including white women? How about that?
Yeah.
But I told you, right? I told you that eventually all of these annoying Karen videos that we're doing are gonna come back to haunt us because they are offensive. They make generalizations about white women. You know it.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
no, I don't agree with that. Because a lot of times the Karens won't even be white.
No, when have we done a Karen video that's not white?
I think we did one. Yeah, we did.
I don't remember.
Okay, anyways. But look, that's a fine conversation. Hey, are you offended by the word Karen? Because is it being overused? Is it just about white women? So we're not looking to shut down conversation. We're looking to have more conversation. These folks are looking to shut down the conversation. And finally, the part that drives me crazy is the thing that Anna mentioned near the beginning. Did we have a vote on this?
No, of course not.
Who put you guys in charge? I'm sorry, you folks in charge. Well, the answer is no one. But they will then go on social media or wherever else and go, well, we have been offended, so we win. And we are holier than thou.
Well, that's great.
Well, I don't think you are.
No constitutional protections against getting offended. So be as offended as you want. We're gonna speak and use words that we wanna use. And the people who actually have a say in that is our audience.
Yeah, look, you know what? Here, people are gonna find this offensive too. But we got 21 million subscribers overall, okay? So 21 million people said, yeah, we like what they're doing. They kind of speak for us. How many does the Stanford Faculty Lounge have? Okay, so if we're voting, we know who won, what people actually care about, what people actually want. You know why they chose us? Because we fight for higher wages. We fight for transgender rights, and we don't let Republicans bully them. We fight against the Don't Say Gay bill. We fight for everyone in our community. We fight for healthcare for everyone to improve everyone's lives. We don't go, yeah, you can't say she or he. I'm holier than you. And then lose every goddamn election for no reason at all, and let those communities get brutalized by the right wing while you're having tea and crumpets in your faculty lounge.